Good morning. I am Ward 5 Councilmember Zachary Parker, and I am thrilled to call this hearing of the Committee on Youth Affairs to order. Today's date is January 29th, and the time is 11:02 a.m. We are in room 120 of the John A. Wilson Building, and this hearing is also being broadcast on the district's channel as well as on Zoom. Today, as part of the committee's oversight work, we will be hearing from the Mayor's Office of African Affairs, learning more about their current initiatives and their work to advance and support African residents in the district. We have several people signed up to testify. However, I am not seeing them here in the room, but just to ensure we're not missing them on Zoom, I will call their names. We have Howard Fickling Finley, Cassandra White, and Erica Muna. Not seeing them here. We're going to move ahead and we're going to hear from our government witnesses. We will hear testimony from the MOAA, or the Mayor's Office of African Affairs Director, Ali Kaba, who will share more about the agency's work, followed by questions from me. And I will say we were also intending to hear from the Mayor's Office of African American Affairs. That has been rescheduled, and that hearing will be moved to March, and we will share more information. But for now, Director Kaba, you may go ahead. Got to make sure, yes.
Now on, thank you.
Now you're on.
Good morning, Chairperson Parker, member of the Committee on Youth Affairs, and members of the public. My name is Ali Kaba, and I am the Executive Director of the Mayor's Office on African Affairs, also known as MOAA. Today, I'm pleased to testify before the committee about the Mayor's Office on African Affairs accomplishment for the fiscal year 24. First, I want to thank Mayor Bowser for her leadership and commitment to supporting the district African community. It is an honor for MOA to serve the African diaspora in the district and work for the community so they have a pathway to the middle class. At the Mayor's Office on African Affairs, we are proud of our team's dedication, along with the valuable contribution from the Commission on African Affairs to bring quality programs to the African communities in the district. Through our 6 program areas, the Mayor's Office on African Affairs works with the growing African community to fully leverage the diverse services offered by the District of Columbia. Key partnerships have played a pivotal role in our event programs, outreach activities, and initiatives throughout the fiscal year 24-25 to date. I want to take this opportunity to explain some of these event, program, outreach activities, and initiatives. In collaboration with the EOM Grant-Making Committee, MOA provided a total amount of $134,810,000 under the African Community Grant Program. This grant, aligned with Mayor Bowser's priorities, play a pivotal role in providing support to community-based organizations in the area of immigration, economic and workforce development, health and human services, youth engagement, and the promotion of art, culture, and humanities. As a consultative agency, in collaboration with the Office of Human Rights, the Mayor's Office, the MOA Language Access Program had a profound impact on our community in FY24. MOA reviewed biennial language access plan for 35 agencies with significant public contact as mandated by the Language Access of 2004. This effort provided valuable insight and recommendation that enhance service delivery across these agencies. Additionally, MOA conducted on-site and website visits to evaluate language services, resulting in the translation of over 300 vital documents. We also did quality assurance in French, Amharic, and Arabic for over 275 translated documents, improving accessibility for African immigrants and promoting inclusivity in our services. To equip agencies with tools to better serve individuals with limited English proficiency, MOA offered cultural competency training to DC agencies such as the Department of Licensing and Consumer Protection, the Metropolitan Police Department, and DC Public Schools. This training focused especially on addressing the needs of individuals with limited English proficiency, further enhancing our community's inclusivity and support. Under our community outreach and engagement program in FY24, we demonstrated commitment and effectiveness in serving community. The agency met its goal of 100%, resolving 100% cases within 30 days, so that residents receive timely and effective support. Through over 30 meetings and visits with African immigrants-led organizations, businesses, residents, and community leaders, MOA further strengthened its understanding of the community's needs and improved its support system. In support of Mayor Bowser's commitment to public safety, MOA facilitated 22 bi-weekly outreach programs across 8 wards. This collaboration with the African Liaison Unit within the Metropolitan Police Department addressed long-term public safety concerns related to cultural and language barrier and lack of understanding. Under our multicultural awareness and community building program, MOA has significantly broadened its outreach within the African community through diverse cultural events. In February 2024, to celebrate Black History Month, the Mayor's Office on African Affairs joined the men and women of the Washington National Guard to explore the diversity of the Black experience in the US, with a focus on the African diaspora. On May 18th, the Mayor's Office on African Affairs partnered with District Bridges and Lower Georgia Avenue Main Street to host the Africa on the Avenue Festival, a celebration of the vibrant African immigrant community along Georgia Avenue. And the event featured interactive art, fashion, music, food, and showcased the many African braiders who work along the corridor. On July 13, the Mayor's Office on African Affairs hosted the 4th annual DC Community Soccer Tournament at Paul Lawrence Denver High School in celebration of Immigrant Heritage Month. The event was a success, with over 200 attendees enjoying exciting matches, vibrant music, delicious food, and activities for all ages. MOA collaborated with the Metropolitan Police Department, DC Public Schools, the Department of Park and Recreations, sister agencies under the Mayor's Office of Community Affairs, and various community leaders and influencers to make the event memorable. On July 20th, the Mayor's Office on African Affairs hosted the Mandela Day of Service in Ward 8. The event was attended by over 150 community volunteers who came together for a meaningful day in service, a day of service in honor of Mandela. The event was a collaborative effort with partners such as the Mayor's Office of Volunteering, Serve DC, the Office of Clean City, the Department of Public Works, Ward A workers, and community groups in Ward 8. MOA partnered with the Mandela Washington Fellowship for the Young African Leaders by providing sponsorship and active participation in the 24 Mandela Washington Fellowship Summit. This collaboration brought over 300 young Africans to participate, highlighting the importance of strengthening ties between African immigrant communities and local institutions. By supporting and engaging in this event, MOA demonstrated its commitment to fostering opportunities for African professionals and organizations, as well as building stronger partnerships to benefit the community. From October 7 to October 12, 2024, in celebration of African Heritage Month, MOA collaborated with the Ghanaian Tourism Authority, Liquid Soul DC, Event DC, and DC United for the Capital City Africa Week, highlighting the rich culture of Ghana last year. The week featured a diverse range of events celebrating Ghanaian arts, culture, business, tourism, sport, and cuisine, among other aspects, all held here in Washington, D.C. The festivities attracted over 12,000 participants, showcasing the strong community support and enthusiasm for Ghana's cultural heritage. Under MOA Capacity Building Program, in March 2024, MOA promoted Dampened March Madness, the District Economic Development Showcase, conducting extensive outreach within the African business community. This annual event served as an ideal platform to engage with community leaders, entrepreneurs, and innovators, fostering discussion on the dynamic growth of our vibrant community. During the DMV Black Restaurant Week, from December 3rd to December 10th, MOA celebrated African-owned restaurants across the district, showcasing and honoring this establishment. This initiative culminated in a special proclamation presented on behalf of Mayor Bowser during this week. MOA also partnered with DLCP to conduct bilingual outreach and provided technical assistance to over 170 aspiring entrepreneurs and existing street vendors. This effort contributed to an increase in the number of African businesses listed on MOA Business Directory, growing from 238 to 330. For the fiscal year 2025, we will continue to work on building strategic partnership with the district agencies to strengthen MOA programs, to promote African residents' social integration, civic engagement, and economic empowerment. We look forward to supporting Mayor Bowser's grand vision to keep Washington, D.C. as a city where people from all walks of life thrive and have access to the middle class. In closing, I want to express my gratitude to our dedicated team, Harrison Poku, Director of Operation, Amina Njai, our Community Outreach Specialist, Yared Mengistu, our Language Access Coordinator, Raisa Som, Grant Management Specialist, and Gada Roba, our Community Outreach and Government Relations Specialist, for their tireless work and dedication to the African community and the city at large. Thank you for the opportunity to testify today. I look forward to answering any question you may have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Director. Before I begin with questions, I wanted to level set. So there were pre-hearing questions that were sent over by the committee, and to date, we have not received a response. My understanding is from your team, we were told we will receive responses to those questions after today's hearing. Do you have a sense of when you might deliver those responses?
Pretty soon. I think it's going through the approval process right now, but you may receive it pretty soon.
Can you give a deadline or a date?
As of now, I can't.
So pretty soon could be a day, a week, a month?
No, probably a week max.
Okay. So a week max. So a week from today would be February 5th. So by end of day, February 5th, the committee should receive responses from your agency.
Sure.
And those responses will be made public for those viewing. The questions center around the performance of the office over this last year, and it's critical. Given that we're a relatively new committee, we wanted to be flexible, given that there may have needed to be more time for your team to work on those questions. So you're making a commitment that we will receive those responses by February 5th. Is that correct?
Yes.
Then yesterday we met, and there were a number of questions I asked around your agency's performance. You committed to providing responses before today's hearing. Have you shared those responses?
Yes, I think we had. But yes, we had.
Okay, I'm gonna ask my team to pull those. My team is not aware of receiving those responses.
I've seen an email going to.
If you could resend that, I would, because I want to reference them through today's hearing. That would be helpful. That would be helpful. That would be helpful. I want to start with you've laid out some of the work that you've done over this past year. What would you say are some of your office's goals for the coming fiscal year, as well as your goals for fiscal year 24?
For this current,
This current
Mhm.
fiscal year, which is fiscal year 25, I'm sorry, and then your goals as we're looking ahead to fiscal year 26.
Yes, our goals for current fiscal year will be to support Mayor Bowser's vision to in making Washington D.C. a welcoming city where people from all backgrounds can live happily and thrive. At the Mayor's Office of African Affairs, our mandate is to ensure a full range of government programs and resources are accessible to the African community to support their social integration when they get here, their civic engagement and economic development. So our main goal is to increase partnerships with government agencies, different institutions, community leaders, influencers to widen our reach in the African community, the how to reach members of the community and newcomers to ensure they have equal access to resources available throughout the city and benefiting from them to facilitate their integration, a full integration, to participate in the city life. In addition to that, our goal is to celebrate, so promote multicultural awareness and community development by showcasing good work that African immigrants are doing in the city, including nonprofit organizations, businesses, faith-based institutions, supporting them so that they can play a better role, have a better participation in the city life. So we'll be doing that around our 6 area of program that are mentioned in the responses we submitted, which is the language access program, the multicultural awareness and community building program, our grant program, and youth development program, and our outreach program.
Thank you for that. What are some of the biggest challenges your office faces in fulfilling your mission?
The main challenge we'll be facing, I'll say, is the growing population. The African immigrant community in the district is the fastest growing immigrant group in the city. So as the different challenges the community face is exacerbated by the fact that 50% of the community members don't speak English very well. The fact that the population is growing, the needs also grow. So we'll need more resources to ensure community members have access to services they need to fully integrate.
And what is the population of African residents in the district?
Currently, we have over 16,000 African immigrants in the district, according to the latest reports.
And your office is engaging about how many of those 16,000?
Yearly, I will say, I mean, this was a great year. We were able to reach, I would say, over 10,000 this year.
That's significant.
It is.
Significant. I'm aware that your office oversees the Commission on African Affairs.
Yes.
How many people serve on that commission?
Currently, we have 6 serving. No, 9 serving right now, and 6 openings.
You have 9 serving and 6 vacancies.
Right.
There is a hold on hiring for new commissioners or nominating new commissioners by MOTA. Can you speak to why there is a hold in place given the vacancies?
What I know right now, some interviews have been made. So the potential commissioner, future commissioner are going through the process.
I see.
Mhm.
So the hold reflects people going through the pipeline.
That's right.
I wanted to switch gears. One of the things we talked about yesterday were the grants that your office provides. It's one of the significant functions of your office, providing grants to African residents and businesses. And you even spoke to that in your opening testimony. How many grants did your office award in fiscal year 24 and to date in fiscal year 25?
24, we awarded 11 grants. And in 25, we awarded 14 grants.
And one of the questions I asked and for the information that you were supposed to share is a breakdown of where those grants went. Can you elaborate for fiscal year 25 what some of those grants funded and supported? And I'm just checking whether or not my team has received the responses.
Right. So in 25, so the grant was awarded to organization with program aligned with Mayor Bowser priorities in the area of workforce development, education.
In the information you're sharing, I'm assuming you're providing a list of those 15 grants.
Yes,
And what was the total of the 15 grants?
112,000.
And what was the total of the 11 grants provided the year before for fiscal year 24?
134,810.
Okay. What is your total grant budget?
It's 145,000.
And that was the same for both the years, fiscal year 24 and 25?
Yes, yes.
And why, is there any reason you didn't exhaust the grant funds?
For FY25, as of now, for the next cycle, we are planning to award it to community-based organization that are gonna execute the African Heritage Month. So,
Okay. To what extent do grantees of your office receive funds from other community affairs offices serving different cultural heritage?
I know we have some grantees that receive funds from other institutions. I would think it's relatively normal as we face the same challenges. I'm talking about agencies that serve immigrants in the district. So I know we have some grantees that receive funds probably from MOLA. That's what I recall, but they're serving the legal assistant.
MOLA being Mayor's Office of Latino Affairs.
That's right. So they're legal assistant providers, right? And specialize in also providing language access and cultural competency.
Are there any restrictions on an organization receiving funding in subsequent years? So could I receive funding in fiscal year 24 and 25 and 26?
From our office?
Yes.
Yes. There is no restriction as of now. The reason is that I would say we don't have enough ethnical, community-based organizations that provide targeted, culturally and linguistically targeted services to African immigrants. So our goal by providing funds is to help them build their capacities to be more competitive and go get funds somewhere else, right? So as of now, we have to fund them for them to grow and build the capacity of other organizations to join the pool.
And what was the total number of applicants in fiscal year 25? So you awarded 15, totaling 112,000 grants. Do you have the number of people that applied or organizations that applied?
Over 47 applied this year.
Okay. Do you have that number for fiscal year 24 by any chance?
No, but I can provide later.
Okay. how is your team ensuring equity in the awarding of these grants? So I'm assuming you have a rubric of sorts where people are applying and you're judging their application. How do you ensure that there is a diverse representation within the African diaspora for those that receive grants from your office?
Well, our review system is external. So we are not the first reviewer. We create a pool of reviewers that include members chosen in the African community, different sectors. So they're the one that provide the first review.
And those are community-based organizations or individuals in the community?
Individuals in the community.
I see.
Right, professionals.
I see.
So they score the different application, comment them, and submit it to us. We provide a second review in the grant review committee within MOCA, and then align the scores, and that will inform the decision.
Mm-hmm. And what type of quality control is in place to ensure that that initial review is done with fidelity?
I mean, we make them sign, I forgot the name of the contract, we make them sign, but it's usually people that we know in the community or that we don't. We make call for reviewers too throughout our newsletter, but they have to submit a resume first. So we go through the resume to ensure they're capable of doing this job. If needed, we'll make call to the agency they represent to ask questions about their work and their integrity.
So community organizations or individuals from the community are doing that of initial review. They provide a rubric or recommendation to you. And then what happens next in the grant awarding process?
So then the mayor's office on African Affairs, or the committee, the review committee within MOCA, also review, score, and comment, right? Then we meet, and that's where the decision is made.
Okay. All right. And so you're going to follow up and share more information about the awardees for fiscal year 24 and 25 that received those grants.
Sure.
Awesome. I want to switch gears to outreach.
Okay.
So one of the things that you highlighted is that your office is doing significant outreach. You highlighted this in your opening testimony. In yesterday's conversation, you said your prioritized outreaches in wards 1, 4, and 5. One of the things I asked for was a breakdown of outreach conducted in each of those wards. Can you highlight for me what some of that outreach included in wards 1, 4, and 5?
Yes. So in Ward 1, we had we have a bi-weekly outreach program first.
That you're essentially the bi-weekly, according to your testimony, is when you're partnering with MPD.
That's right. Sometimes they join. So ideally with MPD, but if MPD is not available that week. So the thing is, our outreach program includes a lot of things. Mm-hmm. It's a package of resources we have, including MPDs, right? So we have an immigration justice legal services grant. So the mayor allocate 3.5 million to community-based organizations and legal assistance providers, right? Every fiscal year. So we have a list of grantees that we print. We have the list of the receiver of the African Community Grant. We have resources from the Department of Employment Services, the Washington English Center, all the information about resources that can facilitate the social integration and economic development. That constitute the package. MPD, that will be public safety. We have the mayor's camera rebate program. We add that to the package and then go with MPD in the community and share those information.
So it sounds like bi-weekly, there's a team of individuals that are going out to do something. It could be public safety. It could be sharing about grants and programs you're running. How many people are on this outreach team? I heard you name there was one coordinator, but how many individuals are on the team?
Currently 3. So we have, I mean, more than that because I'm pretty often with them, but We have a community outreach specialist liaison to the Amharic speaking community, which are Ethiopians. We have a community outreach specialist liaison to the Francophone African community, and we have a language access coordinator.
Okay. And so I'm assuming we will receive the breakdown of outreach done across the city, but in wards
Yes.
1, 4, and 5.
So this includes the biweekly outreach. It also include the event we host in areas with a strong African demographic. So can be the DC soccer tournament that was held in Ward 4. The Mandela Day of Service was held in Ward 8. We had the Capital City Africa Week was held across all 8 wards. And we also have a focus on faith-based organization in Ward 5 and businesses. So I would say it really covered the all 8 wards, but we'll give you a breakdown of.
Okay. And how does your office monitor and engage on the various issues relevant to district residents of African heritage? So something my team has heard is, well, the office hasn't talked about this issue that I care about or my organization cares about. So how are you all judging which issues to elevate, which events to hold that's relevant to individuals across the diaspora?
Yes. So first, the outreach we conduct is also an opportunity for us to conduct a need assessment in the community. That's one. We have a Commission on African Affairs, which is an extension of the office in the community, and relay information about challenges and need of the community that are discussed. And then we build
Are
up.
those individuals paid on the commission?
No, they're not.
They're not.
They're volunteer. So our strategic plan is based on that. It's a programmatic answers to those challenges. So I forgot the question. I've been thinking too much.
That, like, how do you monitor which issues to engage
Right,
with across the diaspora?
That's right, and which events to hold. So we always try to align with Mayor Bowser's priorities, right? Such as the DC combat plan, public safety, education. We align that with our strategic plan. So if we consider the Capital City Africa Week, it was including a lot of things.
Yeah. So about that. So obviously you work at the pleasure of the mayor. How much of your time in a given week is supporting the mayor's events and activities?
I mean, the vision of the office aligned with the vision of the mayor.
No, I get that. Let me be more clear. What I've heard is not just your office, but a lot of these affairs offices and offices under the executive office of the mayor are showing up at press conferences, are showing up at ribbon cuttings, are showing up and taking pictures and hoorah rah the mayor. And okay, fine. But I'm trying to understand how much time in a given week is spent doing those type of activities, supporting the mayor, making her look good versus engaging directly with African residents.
No, I don't face that problem in my agency. But the simple reason that
So let me ask a more direct question. Are you being tasked, asked, requested to attend events supporting the mayor?
no.
Which
no,
is fine if you are.
No.
Again, what I'm getting at is
Mhm.
how much time is spent doing that versus these things you've read out about in your opening
I was
statement.
about to give you an answer. Our presence in this office, the mayor's office on African Affairs, is intentional because most of us are from Africa. We came here as immigrants.
Hmm.
Others,
Some would argue we've all come from Africa.
excuse me?
I was saying in jest, but I would say some would argue we all came from Africa.
That's right.
Yeah. Different degrees of separation.
We can, no separation for us.
Okay.
We can talk about that later, but we make no distinction.
Yes.
Our brother back here, his parent came from Africa.
Yeah.
So in a way or another, we can all relate to the challenges faced by an immigrant.
But I want to come back to this. So
Mhm.
You're saying you're not being requested, asked, demanded to attend mayoral events. Is that right?
No, I've been like, for me, I've been here since 2015, and I attend this event, any event in the city. That's
No, no,
part of
no.
the.
I'm talking about like during the workday,
Mhm,
as a part of your work
mhm,
duties. I'll give an example. The mayor is unveiling a new safe passage program. It's great.
mhm,
We often see the mayor flanked by a crowd or entourage of people
mhm,
behind her,
mhm,
which are often district employees,
mm,
again, which is fine.
mm.
It's been my understanding that those people behind her are often being pulled from the executive office of the mayor. And there's a significant amount of time spent doing those activities versus what the mission of said offices are.
From what I've witnessed, you only call if there is a potential issue that your office is covering uh, is happening that you may have answer for. If there is a fire in Ward 4, if a strong African community, they may call me to come and stand behind the mayor. She may need language assistance, or she may need a service that my office is
I see.
providing.
So
Then,
it's on a as needed basis
as needed
if
basis.
it's relevant to your office.
That's right.
I got you. How does your office target its outreach for specific African communities? And by that, I mean, you know, yes, African is a broad umbrella, but there are different communities and groups within that umbrella. How do you tailor your outreach to the any number of folks or groups under the African diaspora or that umbrella?
So we use our different outreach specialists. Let's say the Ethiopian community is the largest one in the district. That's why we have two Amharic speakers. So they're the one in charge of building up a strategic outreach strategy on how to better reach the Ethiopian community. So we attend their cultural celebrations. There's a concentration of Ethiopian businesses, let's say in Ward 1, 9th Street. On the corridor of Georgia Avenue, you have a concentration of West Africans. I won't send them there. I'll probably go, if I'm from Guinea, West Africa, Harrison is from Ghana, we will be the one going there. Majority speak French, so that's how we build up relationship and ensure they have access to resources. But we also fund grantees, as I said, such as the Renaissance Center for Culture and Education. They specifically, I mean, not exclusively, but they mainly serve Francophone African residents in the district. We have the Ethiopian Community Center that serve Ethiopians mainly. We have the Nigerian Center that focuses on Nigerians. So we have different groups represented within the team, the Commission on African Affairs, but also the grantees.
I got you. How many referrals did your office make to district agencies in fiscal year 24 and fiscal year 25 to date?
I'll say over 25, no, 24 is over 270 referral done. And this year, I don't know exactly how many, but it's weekly. We're receiving people weekly at the office. So a lot of people just come to our office asking for resources, or they make calls.
And what are some of the main themes of the referral requests that you're having to make?
Right now, housing, immigration, healthcare, education. So those are the main one as of now. Employment.
What can you say more about immigration?
Yes.
Like what are the focus points of those requests?
So some of them need help to put the cases together, right? Or they need language. They just come and don't speak the language, don't know anything about what's going on. So but you also have people that come speaking the language. So our role is to connect them to immigration, justice, legal services grantees to help them with their cases.
And given our new administration in the White House, are you seeing an uptick in those requests?
Can you repeat your question, please?
Given the change in administration in the White House and the rhetoric around immigration, are you seeing an uptick in requests to your office from the African community?
Yes, I mean, the population will normally live in fear right now, which is normal. So people are, but we will keep providing the services and resources we usually provide to immigrants. So that's what we're doing right now.
Okay. I want to switch gears again to programming. Can you describe at a high level the programs currently offered by your office? And you referenced some of them in your opening statement.
Yes. So you mean all the programs we're offering right now?
Yes.
So we have an African Community Grant Program, as I said, where we provide up to $15,000 to community-based organizations that support immigrants in the area of focus.
Let me ask one more thing about that. I know, are there any parameters to what that grant could be used for? Is it just, here's $15,000 if you pass our application criteria?
No, we give them different areas, and they have to choose one.
What are the areas for the grants?
So we have education, public safety, legal assistance, workforce development, economic development.
That's helpful.
So then we have a language access program, as I said. We serve as a consultative agency working with the Office of Human Rights to help the 39 DC government agencies mentioned under the Language Access Act of 2004 implement or comply with the law. That's the language access program. We have a capacity building program where we support, we help nonprofit organizations and businesses strengthening their institutional capacity building, right, to be more competitive in the district. We have a multicultural awareness and community development program, which is more cultural dialogues, events, a festival we host across the city to celebrate the participation of African immigrants to the rich tapestry of the city. Those are the main programs we have at the mayor's office.
Okay. So you have the grant program, language access, and the capacity building program.
Capacity building program, we have a youth development program. So those are, and a public safety program.
Okay. Can you elaborate on the youth development program?
Yes. So this is more youth development and youth engagement program, I'll say. It's an effort to push the young Africans to be more civically engaged in the city. So we host events such as the Young African Leaders Impact Weekend, leveraging the Young African Leaders Initiative with State Department and IREX. And
when is that normally held?
That's in July. So we have a Young African Connection Summit. We have a Mandela Day of Service and a networking event with young Africans in the district. So that will be the Young African Leaders Impact Weekend.
Okay. I would love to attend that this year.
Sure.
and just be a part of that. Obviously, the focus of this committee is on youth affairs,
Okay.
and we define and see that broadly,
Mhm.
and very interested in supporting the work you're doing in that space.
I'll be glad to have you.
How can this committee better support the work that your office is doing?
Sure, by serving as an ambassador of the office in the community. I know you're a Ward 5 council member. I'm a resident of Ward 5, but the committee can,
You are. I don't think I realized that.
yes, I am.
Okay, great.
So the
Oh, and you too. Oh, great. That's why all the outreach is happening in Ward 5.
Some of them. But yeah, the committee can help expanding the reach in the community.
Yes,
I'm
we'll be
sure.
happy to do that.
Sure.
And I will say this, there's still time to get responses to us. We
Sure.
didn't have our public witnesses show up today, but what I'm thinking I'm going to do is recess this hearing and
Okay.
ask you to come back
Okay.
in March.
All right.
That time we would have had your responses, and then
Okay.
we can probe further.
Perfect.
While I appreciate your ability to answer questions, it's helpful to have information in front of us that we can
Sure.
weigh things against. And so, when is our last hearing? It is March 6th at 11 a.m. So we're just tacking more and more onto that hearing. And so I'm going to recess today's hearing until then.
Okay.
At which point we will have you come back and share, and I'll ask questions based on the written responses your team will provide.
Perfect.
I want to thank you for your engagement and your willingness to share before the committee. Anything that we can do to further be of support in your service of African residents and primarily African youth in the district, please do let us know.
Sure.
All right. The time is now 11:49, and I am going to recess this hearing until March 6th. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Great. Director, where in Ward 5 do you live? I don't think I realized.
From Lincoln.